What would you do if your government decides who you should be dating? If your government decides when and how you introduce your partner to your parents? What would you do if your state picks who you marry? I know this sounds bizarre, and this bizarre is playing out in Iran, also in some other countries, although more discreetly. Let's start with Iran. The country has redefined control by playing a matchmaker. Iran has unveiled a dating app, an Islamic dating app. It's called Hamdam, meaning companion. Hamdam is unlike any other dating app. You can't just sign up, swipe left and right and have a conversation and then go on a date. Iran's dating app requires you to take a psychology test. And once you find a match, the app steps in. It introduces the families. Not just that. Service consultants arrange and attend these meets. Wait, wasn't this supposed to be a dating app? Well, it was. And last we checked, dating was not the same as marriage. I mean, you can always date with the intention of getting married, but such relationships do not include introducing your parents even before you've met your date. Dating and marriage are not the same thing. But Iran does not understand this. Its birth rate has dropped 25% over the last 4 years, 25%, and the Islamic Republic is desperately looking for people it can marry off and expect babies from. Since normal dating apps do not come with such preconditions or expectations, Iran launched a state-sanctioned app exclusively designed by the State Islamic Propaganda Organization. The app claims to be for those who are quote-unquote seeking permanent marriage and a single spouse. Well, what about those who aren't? Those who aren't looking to jump into marriage even before getting to know a person. Can they continue using the more normal dating applications? The likes of Tinder and Bumble, they're quite popular in Iran, we are told. But Iran's cyberspace police chief, Colonel Ali Mohammad Rajabi, says all dating apps except Hamdam are illegal in Iran. Does this mean they'll all be banned soon? Well, we do not have confirmation on that yet. But by the looks of it, those looking for love online in Iran may soon have just two options: sign up for Hamdam and get married, or stay single. Here's a question. What do you think happens when a state starts telling you who you should be dating? This question is sadly no longer hypothetical. States are already dictating your dating life. And I will show you what it looks like. In 2020, Pakistan banned Tinder. It also banned the LGBTQ dating app called Grindr. Why? Immoral/indecent content, said Pakistan. Earlier this year, the White House teamed up with dating apps. It encouraged the apps to give greater visibility to those who are vaccinated. Well, how do you verify someone's Wuhan virus vaccination status on a dating application? You can't. But here's what you can do. Manipulate a user's preference through algorithms. If a user is shown just a couple of hand-picked profiles, he or she is likely to swipe right on at least one. Iran's Hamdam app aims to achieve this very end. The app claims to be using artificial intelligence to find matches and indirectly grow its population. In another continent, the US is discouraging you from dating those who are not vaccinated. This is a tinderbox situation. Countries are filtering the pool of people you can meet, you can date, maybe eventually you marry. By filtering who you meet, the state is interfering with your choice, your right to choice. Pakistan won't even allow you to access platforms where you can meet LGBTQ partners, people of same sexual orientation. These are popular platforms. Between September 2019 and September 2020, Tinder was downloaded 440,000 times in Pakistan, Grindr 300,000 times. You see the numbers. These platforms were an alternative to traditional matchmaking in the world's second most populous Muslim nation. In conservative countries like Iran and Pakistan, dating apps are often a medium of expression, a way to break free from age-old taboos, meet people with common preferences, have conversations that you otherwise cannot in open spaces. But expression can be immoral in some countries. In Iran, it's illegal. And these countries are more than happy to play moral police. You see, we no longer live in times where people are introduced at book clubs or photography societies. The world has moved online. Dating has moved online. The pandemic has accelerated this. In 2020, there were 11% more swipes on Tinder alone. These apps were also means of addressing loneliness and isolation for some. meeting new people outside of work, outside of home. It's on these dating apps that youth today are looking for love. 30% of American adults tried online dating in 2019. 39% of American homosexual couples met online. By the end of this year, there'll be at least 370 million active users on dating apps worldwide. Online dating is a $3.2 billion market. It's a market that some countries are unfairly tapping into and dictating terms to, and by doing so, interfering with who we date, how we date. States today are bulldozing your choice, also stepping into your bedroom. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.